Good day everyone and welcome to another episode of Pandacraft. We are going to get straight into it. As you know, in the last episode, we finished the interior of the castle. If you're new here to Pandacraft, let me just quickly show you. Over here, we got Peach's Castle from Super Mario 64, or it's very similar to the DS one as well, but it is based off Super Mario 64. There are some subtle differences. And I built this all in Minecraft. And in the previous episode, we finished off the interior of the castle. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to start on this exterior, the terraforming or the landscaping or whatever it is you want to call it. We've got all the pathways to put in. We've got bridges. We've got a waterfall. We've got to fill this in. We've got to build the moat. It's going to be pretty full on. And we're running out of time because the season is coming to an end very, very, very soon. Also, mushroom back there, that's got to go. There's going to be a river coming through this sort of area here. And sadly, the mushroom's going to be in the way. But for now, I think we'll just build around it and then we might move it in the next episode. As you can see over here, we've got a bunch of different blocks lined out. This is not all the blocks I need, but it might be all I have time to get done today. So we're going to start by building off some of these pathways. So let me just sort of line them out a bit and I'll be back once I've got maybe like a little bit of a skeleton sort of how the pathways are going to go. There's quite a lot, but yeah, let's get that done and I'll see you in a second. Alright, so that's the first bit of the skeleton done. This will sort of get the path going all the way around here. So you can sort of see where it levels off here, and then it'll sort of come downhill. It gets a bit wider, comes a bit around this corner, comes back uphill. And then for now, we'll just sort of land it here, and I'll figure out this corner after. So there's got to be a waterfall coming down here and things like that. So this may not be the absolute end, but for now, we're just going to sort of leave it like that. As we come over the other side, we come back up here, then this comes back down. So there will be a bridge coming through here, and then it will continue around over to this side, where it will meet a ramp here. This will be sort of like a ramp going down into the moat. And again, what happens after this point and after that point, I haven't got that far yet. So we'll just sort of leave that relatively straight for now. We can shape that a bit better at the end. So now that we've got the skeleton, let's fill it in and we'll have a completed path the whole way. I might even chuck the bridge in while I'm there as well. You can see from here that the mushroom's actually in the way of the path. So I might just take a bit of a chunk out of the mushroom just so I can put this through. So yeah, let me do that and I'll see you in a second. All right, that's the main pathway all done now. You can see it's all nice and smooth. I've just chucked these torches down. They're just temporary for now. I don't want to be getting attacked by mobs or the whole time I'm out here. So they're just temporary. Once the rest of the landscaping goes in, that's when it'll all be lit up and we'll get some lighting solutions in. Quite happy with the design of the bridge. It looks quite nice from over here. You can see it's got some depth to it. But when you're going over it, you don't get the horrible bumping up and down as you're going. So I've taken a bit of a chunk out of the mushroom here so we can walk straight under. But it does now give us access straight up the mushroom. And when we come in out of the mushroom, we can land straight on here. And if you are down here, you can still get straight up the mushroom because that's there. Or you can get up onto the bridge. In the real game of Mario, this is a moat down here, this whole area. That's why it's so much lower. Where this side over here, actually, the grass will actually come up to this layer. Because of the moat, we've got to build a fence all the way along here. It sort of goes the full length all the way down to the bridge. And then on that side of the bridge, it sort of goes down maybe just sort of that little corner. And then maybe that little bit of corner too. So it doesn't go all the way around. It will go all the way down this side and around that corner as well and all the way up to the top. So let's go do that now and I'll be right back. That's looking much better. Now we've got the fence around so that way once we get the moat built, we can't fall into it. So we've got the strip jungle logs in the middle here and oak in between. I actually think the colors go really well together as well. And then you can see on the other side of the bridge here, we've got a little bit of the fence over there as well as over here. And that's the extent of it. There's not really a lot more that we have to do for this walkway. So I think that's enough of the walkway building for now. But as we can see down here, apart from the fact that we have some friends, it is just floating, and that's a problem because this isn't going to hold back any water if you can just flow straight through here. So what we've got to do is we've got to build like a bit of a retaining wall over this side of it. That's just going to sort of hold... Where'd they go? 2 seconds ago I had friends here, now they've just disappeared. Okay, so we've got to build like a retaining wall, something that's going to sort of stand down here and sort of build up to the bottom edge of this wall, and down that end it's going to be a retaining wall, and directly underneath the bridge here, the drawbridge, there'll be also a bit of retaining wall, but the rest of this we're going to call it dirt, and I say that in quotation marks. I want you to imagine it's just like the sand is like packed in and it's just piled up. And then the floor down here as well, we can't have this ugly floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a nice sort of patterned floor on here. Now in Mario, there's it's sort of like this cobblestone shape over here. But if you go all the way over here, there's like a ramp that goes from down here all the way up there. And it's got this like little, I don't know how to sort of describe it. You know when you got a deck of cards and you've got all your different suits and you've got spades? It's kind of like that sort of shape in a way. And I thought that looked a bit nicer. So I think I'm going to just do that all the way along here instead. And I've got some lights in there, so it'll keep the water all lit up nice and bright and it'll look really good when it's done. I might just jump into a quick time lapse this time around. And let's build out this retaining wall and the floor. And yeah, just get this whole inside bit all finished off. See you soon. Floors and retaining is all done now. As you can see, we've got these nice bricks behind us. These awesome floors, which personally I am quite proud of. Got these little heart shapes perhaps. And we've got that all the way along here. Now you'll notice that there's frog lights through all of this as well. That'll keep it lit up. So that way, once this is filled with water, the water will come up about halfway, maybe just over. And once the water does come all the way through here, hopefully we can still see this pattern on the floor. But you can see the bridge is being held up by a brick wall. And then of course, this is meant to sort of just look like dirt and sand and maybe like a little bit of algae here and there. This wall was actually created using a pixel art generator, just like I did with all the maps. I used a pixel art generator to create all these walls based on the texture they actually used in Mario of a section of wall basically in that sort of corner. So this is actually highly accurate to the colors, unfortunately not so much to the scale because I mean, as you can imagine, Mario's not made of giant square blocks. But you can see we got the walls in now and it looks fantastic. Now the next thing we need to do is, as you can see, we need a lot of digging. We've got to dig all this out because this has got to sort of push out into like a big circular area here, which flows out into the ocean. And over this side, we've got to sort of come down a bit and we have to build a waterfall. It's been about 3 days since I've been on the server because I've been very busy at work. And Jess asked me the other day if there was anything I needed help with. And I mentioned all the digging that needs to be done. And she has gone absolutely crazy. This is exactly what I needed to be dug out. As you can see, it is a bit low now, so the castle's actually going to have to be sort of continued down a bit further. We can now finish off the path that comes around here. It steps down a little bit, and then it will sort of come into here, and we can build this waterfall up. What Jess has also been doing, which is absolutely insane that she's got all this done in just 3 days, she's dug out all the trees and things like that that are in the way here. I've marked out a few areas here where the land just had to be sort of lowered a bit. So you can see she's lowered this area here. And then over here, you can see she's actually already started digging this whole section out as well. And like I mentioned in the previous clip, we need this massive circular area and it all flows out into the ocean. And we've almost got that thanks to Jess. She's done this amazing job. So now I've got all these materials lined up over here. This is all the materials we need to finish off building Peach's castle from Super Mario 64 in Minecraft, and it's going to be epic. This is going to be the entire landscape completely finished, everything behind me. You can see how big the area is that's had to be cleared out. It's a huge project and it's going to be insane once it's done. But before we can have any water flowing out to the ocean, we first need to have the waterfall flowing in. Now you can see up here, I actually started building a little bit of a template up here just to sort of give myself an idea of an approximate height I wanted to go to. So I might just finish closing this section here off so that it's got the waterfall and all the retaining sand and stuff. And I'll be back when it's done. See you shortly. All right, I'll admit this looks pretty epic from down here. This wall is so big. I gotta fill half of this up with water. This is gonna take some time, but this is essentially the waterfall. So we've got the waterfall that'll come down here. Still gotta finish off these walls, but we come up here, you'll notice we got a whole heap of water being held back. And once I start breaking off all this dirt, it'll flow straight over here and it'll be a beautiful waterfall the whole way. But I'm not going to break it just yet because it'll get in the way for when I have to build the flooring in and all the rest of this stuff. The castle at the moment looks a bit weird. It's just sort of hanging there and is even overhanging the ground, you can see. So let's build, I think it's about 5 more bricks, maybe 6 more bricks from there down to the bottom. And I'll be right back. The castle is looking huge. It's a bit taller than it was before. Look at this. This is the old floor level. Now it goes all the way down here. When you're looking up the towers, it's just, oh, I mean, it looks like a castle. I don't know how else to say that. So now I just got to finish off the floor area down here and the stairs. There's a couple of little steps that come down there. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back again. I know this whole episode has been a lot of just progression and I've definitely got a lot done, but let's go do some more. All right, the floor's finished and we've got our little staircase coming down here. I know that these are giant stairs and we could never actually jump up them. But it's pretty well to scale compared to the game. I've done my best anyway. I'm quite happy with it, to be honest with you. Now it's going to fill it up with water up to this level here, so it doesn't go over there at all, because I'm not quite ready to fill this up until I get that section over there done. Which, by the way, while I've been building this, Jess has been online this whole time, and she's been doing more digging, and she's been using up all my TNT, and you can see, a bit messy at the moment, but she's made a huge dent in this area. It's getting really good, and apparently a dent in my bridge. Well, let's get this water in. The water is done up to Y level 63, which is about right for your normal sea level. We are going higher. We are definitely going higher, and it's going to have to slope down as it goes through. Apparently, I don't use my hands to row a boat. I know you guys are probably dying to see the water flowing down the waterfall, and you will. It's just because we want to bring this up higher, it's going to be a lot easier to do if the water's not flowing over that edge, because I've still got to place water on that side, and it's going to be a lot easier if there's no water there. I know I said I wasn't going to do this area. I haven't done this area. I've just done one level up to the brick wall over here, just to give you a little bit of an idea of how it's going to look. Because of all those lights, you can see all the way to the bottom of the ocean floor, which is exactly how I wanted it to work. The rest of that water is going to have to wait until this is all complete, all the way through here, where we've got massive area. I've got to fill this with water as well. And because the water over there is going to be higher than here, it's going to have to flow outwards. How good a job is Jess doing? Yep. Good job, Jess. Good job. Yep. No, you're doing well. Yep, keep it up. Keep up the good work, Jess. Yep, no, you're nailing it. Good work. Yep. Yep, yeah, no, that's all good. But I think that's enough castle building for now. Let's quickly head over to Shadan's new iron farm. I'm not sure if you've seen it. If you haven't, go check out his video. He's built a new iron farm. It looks pretty awesome. And he built like this power station around it. He's got some lights in the power station. And in his last video, he mentioned something about lighting them up. So I thought, hey, let's make it a bit interesting. So let's head over there and go check it out. Out here in the middle of nowhere, Shadan has built this really cool power station. Inside here, there is actually an iron farm. And if I'm being honest with you, this is probably the coolest iron farm I've ever seen. I won't bother showing it to you. If you want to see it, go check out his video. I'll put a link up in the corner, but it is absolutely fantastic. So we'll come down here and land on the elytra landing pad. Let's just have a bit of a quick look around at something. If we look over from the side of the building, you'll see some redstone lamps scattered throughout. And as you can see, they're not lit up. Now, I was watching Shadan's episode, and he was saying that he was thinking about maybe lighting some up or maybe not, and he wasn't really decided. And I thought, what if we do it for him, but we make it a bit more fun rather than just being either always on or always off. I come around the back here where he's still building the island out. You can see that we can get on the inside, and there's the lamps right there. And if I pop down here, he has his iron farm, which basically just means I can get some building blocks really easily, just like that. I'm sure he won't mind. He's got plenty of iron, and so do I, so I can always give it back if he needs it. So we'll start off with these two on the front of the tower. So if I quickly pop into free cam, I can glitch through here. We can have a bit of a look. So we've got these two here. We've got that line there, and then we've got those two down the bottom. So we'll start with these two here. If I do a couple of repeaters and some dust there, by powering this bit of redstone here, anywhere along there, you can see that that power turns that on. I can also do that by powering this block right here, and that'll do the exact same thing. I can create a clock like this, and you can see that the lights come on and off, and that gives us a nice steady output. So it stays on for the same amount of time that it stays off. Let me just quickly build something else, and I'll be right back. We now have a little dropper clock over here. So this is the clock that goes around. The dropper is going to spit an item into the hopper. It can either be one of these stackable items, or it can be this one non-stackable item. And it basically means that 1 out of every 6 times one of these will come up, and then one of these will come up the other 5 times. If one of the stackable items ends up in this hopper, this will give out a signal strength of 1, which will go straight through here and power those lights. If it gives the non-stackable item, it will actually give a signal strength of 3, which will power all of this and power that side. But it will also power this side. So what we've got here is a quick little circuit that just pops off to the side, and it will hijack the line on this side on the second power level, and it will bring it around this corner and pump it into there faster than that one will turn on, which means it will lock that. If I put this torch here, you can see it in action. So you can see that that's straight through. That one's straight through again. And that one went around, and you see, if you pay attention there, this repeater here will get locked and it won't be able to turn on. Like that. and then it blocks it so it doesn't turn on. So we have a blinking light, and most of the time it'll be the left light, and every now and again the right light will flicker on, and it's kind of like it gives you an idea if something's working, or maybe there's a fault or something along those lines. This is the next bit here. There's a lot of observers, and the whole point of all of this is just to sort of delay at different times. You'll notice the lights are a bit more randomized. It just gives it something that's a bit more interesting. So we've got 3 different sets of lights up here now, or 4 different sets of lights, and they're all doing their own little thing and their own little timings, and they're all very busy. Now let's pop over this side. And this side of the tower is now complete. Hello? Hi. And this side of the tower is now complete. And you can see this one here sort of fills itself up left to right and then drains itself left to right. Over here we got a couple of if you ever owned a Nokia, we got a couple of snake games happening in a circle there, and I thought those were really cool, just going in opposite directions. Up the top here it sort of grows from the inside and works itself outwards. We got Lucian up there on the roof for trying to hide. This one up here I'm gonna have to show you in free cam. If you're looking at those lights there and the ones down the bottom here, you can sort of see it's kind of like there's some sort of tank or something like that, and as the bottom tank drains, the top tanks fill up. So you can sort of see the 2 at the bottom start to drain, the ones at the top start to fill up, and here we observe an Australian in his natural habitat. This is true. And yeah, so as it fills up at the top there, this one sort of drains down, and vice versa. Once that one's full and this one's empty, that one will start to drain and start to fill this bottom one up. It's a little bit of a slow burn. I'll speed up the footage here. And there you can see, so once the top one drained, the bottom one was filled up. And of course, Lucian just wondering, what is Sim doing? What is Sim doing? Because he can't hear me right now. I've got my voice mod turned off. And if we come around the back of the building here, there's one last set of lights here. There's like 4 of them. And I just got them to sort of come on a bit of an angle, just striping around. So now if we come back in free cam and we just sort of slowly pan around, you can see no matter what you're looking at, everything has its own sort of unique pattern and something different happening on every one of the lights. So it's not all uniformed. It's like they all have a purpose. And yeah, it kind of makes you feel like maybe they all have a reason that they're there, and why are they doing the things they're doing? I don't know. This is Shadan's build. He can tell the story. But there you go, Shadan, your lights are done, and you didn't put any on this side, so I couldn't do anything for this side. That is sadly all I have time for today. But before you go and click off this video, because I know you're going to do it, everyone does it as soon as I say those words. Pandacraft Season 1 is coming to an end very soon. So if you want to see more amazing builds just like this, join me next episode for a bit of a world tour, and we will be finishing off the castle completely. And that is a promise. All right, you can click off now. You don't have to watch anymore. No, seriously, click off. There's literally nothing else here. You're just going to be watching me for the next like 3 minutes now, just flying back to my base in F5. Are you seriously still here? What are you doing here? Surely you're bored right now. There's so many better things to do. I'm pretty sure Mr. Beast just put out a new video. Are you really watching? I'm going to run out of rockets before you click off this video. Well, I guess this is our lives now. I guess this is it. I guess these mountains are starting to get high. I guess this is it. Yep, that's right. I'm going the completely wrong way. See you later, everyone.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.